Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN and the Legacy of Supers. So now, the Legacy of Supers, I suppose, should be taking another big turn because, after all, I've mainly talked a lot about various heroes, and I've been talking a lot about some of the villains from some of these franchises. But you know what? I've already talked about Ben 10, but now's the time for me to introduce Ben 10's arch nemesis, Vilgax. Of course, we pretty much just saw Vilgax in various times throughout the 2003 television series, which you probably would have seen on Cartoon Network for the most part. And I tell you, Cartoon Network was a huge sensation throughout the 90s and 2000s. But even today, we still get a lot from them. Well, anyways, this was a really big part of the past. I mean, Ben 10 was one of those shows that I could never get enough of at the time. But what I can say for sure about Vilgax, Ben 10's arch nemesis, in any way, is that, well, first of all, it's as simple as that. Vilgax's main goal is to hunt down Ben 10 and steal the Omnitrix for purposes of destruction and mayhem. The classic, almost stereotypical trait relating to any villain. And of course, it's pretty much just that. It's as easy as simply identifying the fact that, well, Vilgax wants the Omnitrix from Ben 10, even though it's fused to Ben's wrist. Although, I will admit, there was one episode that I saw where, well, the Omnitrix did get stripped off. And that probably was torture. But it is a cartoon, so we got every right to laugh at it if we need to. Well, anyways, I mean, there just isn't too much that I have to say about Vilgax other than just that. But I will say for sure that amongst the 2003 series, we pretty much have seen the franchise itself carry on. And I will say for sure that there's been a lot of other attempts at creating different lore, different villains and heroes, just to add on to the franchise. Of course, we remember some other shows that eventually came around. But the original Ben 10 is pretty much where it all started. And as a result of that, Vilgax, of course, is the original arch nemesis that started it all. So in conclusion, there just isn't too much. Ben 10 was a really big franchise. I haven't really had a lot of hope for it in recent years because of the types of twisted decisions that have been made just to make the franchise cool again. It's not quite as cool as it used to be. Well, anyways, that's pretty much all I got here for today's episode of HGN, the Legacy of Supers crossover. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.